And welcome back to the channel where we talk about only good comics. I'm Brant, and this is Friday First. This is the series where we talk about those brand new number one issues, new character debuts, new story arcs, and the like. And this is the final episode of 2024. So thank you for all being here and joining me during the holidays. I hope your holiday season is going wonderfully. Those that celebrate, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And I'm sitting here still in the spirit of things, drinking some candy cane coffee with peppermint mocha creamer in a snowman cup. So all about the Christmas spirit and holiday spirit and all that stuff. So, but like I said, we have the last episode of the year talking about the first comics of the new year. So no recaps this week. Books were late. I have not been to the comic shop yet, so I have not had a chance to read anything that came out this week. So no recaps this week, but we do have a whole bunch of books to talk about. We have two shout outs, as I've been waiting for a while for that to go off, and it goes off, of course, as soon as I start. I have a AC return right over my head, so it gets a little noisy. I apologize for that. But anyway, so I have two honorable mentions, or I'm sorry, two shout outs, three honorable mentions, and then I think, 10 other books to talk about. And then as far as firsts go, a couple of them I cheated on a little bit. I'll explain that later. And then I have six other books that I'm going to talk about at the end. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. I guess one more thing before I do. Speaking of Christmas and everything, I'm hoping I'm sounding a little better. The biggest gift that I got, we had a pretty modest Christmas this year, but the biggest gift that I got was a new microphone because my old one was a hand me down from my wife and it was starting to go out. So she got me this one that's specifically for like gaming and streaming. So I'll just raise it in the frame. And it has this nice pop filter and it changes colors, and try not to move my monitor too much trying to show it to you, but as you can see, it's a pretty nice mic, and I think it sounds pretty good so far. It does light up. I can turn that off, but since I'm keeping it out of frame, it doesn't really matter. And hopefully you can hear me better now with this. And then I did a test run. It sounded pretty good as soon as I stopped hitting it, get it where I want it. So hopefully that improves the quality of this show and any time that I'm streaming and stuff like that. So anyway, Merry Christmas to me. Okay, so with that said, let's get into those new books for the new year. This is for books that are coming out on January 1st, New Year's Day, so you're probably not going to be there, but the week of January 1st. Did I say New Year's 1st? January 1st on New Year's Day. So this is the first crop of books, and this shout out is very special to me. I was happy to see this on the list. This is Like Father, Like Daughter, The 5 Stages of Grief, issue number 1. This is written by my good friend, Kat Calamia, Comic Uno, one of my co-hosts on Comic Book Weekly. Been doing this for a minute. She's one half of the Lifeline Comics crew. So this is releasing. This was kickstarted. It's a great series, and I highly recommend checking it out. I had the privilege to letter a few issues in the previous volume, so I'm very excited. The art is by Tango, who is a fantastic artist who I believe has done some Marvel stuff recently. So really cool book. Go check it out. Really happy for Kat and Lifeline Comics to have a book, through the direct market. Speaking of, my next and only other shout out is also from Lifeline Comics. This is Mob Princess, written by Kat Calamia. This is by artist Paper Cat, who I've worked with before, does amazing cover work. So I'm and did amazing interiors on this book. This was also kickstarted. Colors by Danny Sanchez Chavez, who had worked with the Cat before as well. So great stuff. Really cool books that they put out through Lifeline Comics. If you have not checked them out, go check them out. They have a website. It's lifelinecomics.com, and you can look them up on Kickstarter. They have something new on Kickstarter pretty much every month, so go check them out. Really proud of them. Really happy for them that their books are getting widespread recognition now. So definitely wanted to shout both of these out. Now we move into some honorable mentions. This one is Something is Killing the Children script book issue number 1. This is for, hardcore fans of Something is Killing the Children. You can get a script book of it says it's an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the creation of the most successful modern comic book franchise with a bespoke reproduction of James Tynion for the fourth's original script. So I assume it's for issue 1, since it says issue 1 there. So yeah, it says it right there, issue 1 script book. So if you are curious, how James structures the story, if you're a big fan of this, you might want to check out the process and all that stuff. I like that kind of stuff a lot. I'm a fan of the series. In fact, I'd only read volume 1. I was, late to getting on the train for this book, but I did read volume 1 at Mike Spider Slayer's recommendation, and I really loved it. So for Christmas this year, another thing I got was volume 2 of Something is Killing the Children and volume 3. So really excited about that. Really excited to dig into these books. This is a fantastic series if you've not checked it out. So well written, so well structured, and I really fell in love with that first volume, so I'm excited to read those, and I had to give it an honorable mention on this episode. Next honorable mention goes to fans of Rick and Morty. This is the Rick and Morty New Year, New Rick special. I have not read any Rick and Morty stuff. I've never seen the show, but I know a lot of people are fans. So if you are a fan of that and you pick up these specials and you pick up the comic and stuff, I wanted you to be aware that this exists so you can go check it out on New Year's Day or, New Year's week. And the last honorable mention is from Zenescope. This is the Zenescope 2024 pinup special. If you are into the pinup books, it is like a very 90s thing that Zenescope has kept alive every year. I think other companies like Aspen might do it as well. You want to go check this one out. It has a lot of characters featured: Jasmine, Kariz, Liesl Van Helsing, Robin Lockley, Brittany Waters, etc. So Sky Mathers. So if you're a fan of these characters and you're a fan of pinup books, go check this one out. But now let's get into those rated books. And speaking of Zenescope, we have our first one here. We have Terror and Fury issue number 1, brand new series. I don't know that if these characters have been seen in Zenescope or not. It seems like a different kind of book. It seems like a superhero book a little bit. It looks like a Punisher and Catwoman type character combo here. And they have abilities of their own, and they're fighting vampires and zombies and other horrifying creatures in this book. So it sounded interesting. This is from longtime Zenescope writer Joe Bruscia with art by Jordi Tarragona. And so I thought it looked interesting, and I definitely wanted to bring it to your attention. I'm going to give this one a possibly good just because I'm not familiar with the characters. And, I might check this one out, though. It's sometimes these brand new characters from a, tried and true company stand out. And it could be something different from Zenescope. So definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a Zenescope fan. Next up from Boom Studios, we have When I Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee, issue number 1. This is about a disgraced priest named Father Barrera. He's haunted by this tragic death of a child that happened in his life. He's been exiled to this town in South America. And now he's an apprentice under this controversial exorcist. This guy that goes around exorcising demons from individuals. They're normally trained at the Vatican. This one was not. He has an interesting way of handling demons, so it's kind of taking you a left field of what a normal exorcist would do, and now it's leading into this mystery of what these specific kind of demon possessions mean and all that stuff. So could be interesting. This is written by Gus Marino with art by Jacob Rebecca. I can't quite see it, but so interesting concept. If you're into religious, supernatural, horror kind of stuff, you might want to check this one out. For me, I don't know if it's my thing or not, but I'm going to give it a possibly good. It is, like I said, a very interesting concept. Very interesting art style there, and Boom Studios does some really strong books, so I always have faith in the books that they put out. So possibly good for me. And rolling right along with Boom Studios, we have Fence Challenger Sweet 16 issue number 1. I did not read the last Fence series. I did read a previous volume. It was really good. They do slice of life really well over at Boom with the Boombox stuff. This is written by C.S. Picat with art by Joanna the Mad. Colors by Joanna Lafuente, and this one has them going all the way to the final 16 in the tournament, and now they have to face the best of the best. So it's your two top players facing off, and he's facing off against the person that made him fall in love with fencing in the first place. So a lot of drama, a lot of conflict there, a lot of emotion. So if you're a fan of this series, you'll want to check this one out. I am going to give Fence Challenger Sweet 16 a promisingly good based on previous content. And I do recommend, if you like slice of life, to check out some of the Fence books and some of the other slice of life books that Boom Studios and Boombox specifically put out. Moving into some more traditional comic book flavor, we've got Deadpool Wolverine issue number 1 coming hot off the heels of the successful movie, of course. This is written by Benjamin Percy, who has been writing Ghost Rider and Wolverine for a while. So we have Deadpool and Wolverine back together again, and it says they're ready to blow our minds in a series, an ongoing series, mind you, that hits, I'm going to read this verbatim, hits like a never-ending action movie with the fate of the world in the balance. So again, leaping right off the screen into your pages. There's a fan favorite villain that gets unearthed in this issue, and the only thing that can stop it apparently is the Merc with the mouth and the Wolverine. So yeah, if you're a fan of these characters, if you like what Benjamin Percy has been doing with Wolverine, you'll want to check this one out. I'm on the fence about it just because I didn't always enjoy the Wolverine run. I liked bits and pieces here and there, but I like this pairing, and I'm definitely going to try it out. I'm going to give it a potentially good, and we'll see what happens with it. Deadpool adjacent, also from Marvel, we have Cable Love and Chrome issue number 1. This is written by David Pepos with art by Mike Henderson, and this sees the X-Man, the soldier, the time traveler, back on his own, and he is living on borrowed time, and he's still, waging this war against this techno-organic virus. But now he's got this big, mission that has come up that has gone terribly wrong, and he's left stranded in this dystopian, city of Salvation Day, and now has to kind of, figure out how to get out of that and deal with this mission that he's on. So it says get ready for a big action, bigger threats, and the biggest guns in the Marvel Universe in this epic new series from Ringo Award-winning writer David Pepos. So David is currently writing the Space Ghost series for Dynamite, which is really good. So I'm a fan of the Space Ghost series. So that kind of gives me more hope for this, especially, it's a solo character. You got this, individual mission going on. It just, I don't know. It sounds kind of interesting. I'm not completely sold on it yet, but I am going to give it a promisingly good just based on the writing and based on the general concept of it. And I do like Cable, so I'm going to give the first issue a shot and go from there, but it's a promisingly good for me for now. Next up, just in time for the movie, Sam Wilson, Captain America, issue number 1, as he squares off against the Red Hulk. So, I mean, it is a movie tie-in without being a movie tie-in. It is, as far as I understand, in continuity with the comics, not the movie universe. So, this is written by Greg Pak and Evan Narcisse, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Evan Narcisse wrote Rise of the Black Panther and some Gotham Knights stuff, I believe. And then Eder Messias also writing, who did Phases of the Moon Knight. They are joining forces to write this book. And Sam is attending a birthday party for Isaiah Bradley, the original Captain America. And he comes in contact with these floating platforms in the sky, and yeah, and this head of security is the Red Hulk. So he tangles with the he tangles with the Red Hulk, and there's your movie tie-in. So if you are coming from the movie or you're excited about the movie and you come into this, you've got a book that kind of resembles what's going on there. Not quite, but interesting. The cover art looks good. Um, yeah, I don't know much about it. They don't give you much to go on here, so maybe I'll try this one out. I am going to give it a potentially good, because you got several writers. You got a seasoned writer and some newer writers involved telling a story with Sam Wilson, who is a strong character, and Red Hulk, who is an interesting character to come in contact with, and that could be a very interesting conflict. Again, it could get you in the mood for the movie. So yeah, potentially good for me. Okay, this is the first of my two cheats here. The Avengers issue number 22, not a first issue, but we have Black Cat joining the Avengers for a caper. And Jed MacKay wrote a phenomenal Black Cat. So I'm curious to see if adding Black Cat into the mix of the Avengers makes for a more powerful story. We have her joining them to crash this intergalactic auction that is happening, to try to get ahead of these tribulation events that are coming upon them. And now they're in shock when someone shows up with Black Cat on their arm. So we're going to see how this comes to be. It says it's the most shocking date of 2025. So we're going to see what exactly this is all about. But anytime Jed MacKay is writing Black Cat, I'm paying attention. I'm excited for it. Even though I haven't been loving the Avengers series, when you throw something like this in, it does, make my ears perk up. But because I haven't been enjoying it as much as I hoped I would, I'm just going to give it a potentially good, kind of hedge my bets there. But it does give me a little more, not to use one of my other, ratings, but it does give me a little more promising hope for this issue and this story. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm definitely going to read it, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I'll stick with potentially good for now. And my other cheat is the Ultimates issue number 8, but this one makes a little more sense because I believe it's the first appearance of the Ultimate Guardians of the Galaxy. So America Chavez apparently leads the Guardians of the Galaxy and she's from the future. So they are taking center stage in this, and they're trying to, they're operating from a maker-free future, and they are. Maybe she's not the leader of them. Maybe they're hunting her. Either way, whatever happens, these Guardians of the Galaxy are from a future that the Maker is not involved, and they have come to the present Ultimate Universe to find America. And so you're going to see America and these new Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's very exciting and very timely, because I actually finally watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 last night. Really, really fun movie, really emotional movie, pulled at the heartstrings a lot. But, I think it was a fitting ending to that story. It was really strong. And yeah, so I'm very excited to see the ultimate version of the Guardians of the Galaxy in this new Ultimate Universe. So I'm giving this one a positively good, because the last couple of issues of the Ultimates have been really strong, and I'm really looking forward to this one. This next one is the first in a series of Galactus What If one-shots. This is written by Matt Groom with art by Lam Medina, and this one asks the question, what if Galactus transformed the Hulk? So in this series of one-shots, we see Galactus taking some of Marvel's best and brightest and turning them into heralds with the power cosmic. In this one, he has, conscripted the Incredible Hulk into his service. So what will turn out to be the bigger mistake, it says here, trying to direct the fury of the Green Goliath, or giving the great mind of Bruce Banner a cosmic problem to solve. So that could be very interesting, seeing the Hulk as a herald for Galactus. I would not want to tangle with an Incredible Hulk with the power cosmic, I'll tell you that. But interesting here, and it's from a Power Ranger writer, Matt Groom. So that's interesting as well. I'm giving this one a potentially good. These what if one shots are always hit and miss. I do miss like the ongoing series, even though they were still technically one shots. But I'm always excited. It kind of brings nostalgia out to see these what if books come back. But Matt Groom's a really good writer, so I do have faith in that. But we'll see what this one has to offer, and it'll kind of set the tone going forward for these what ifs. And from one Power Ranger writer to another, we have Justice League The Atom Project, issue number 1, written by Ryan Parrott and John Ridley, with art by Mike Perkins. And this is jumping right out of Justice League Unlimited, out of Absolute Power, all that stuff going on. You have, as it says, the greatest power in the DC universe, and also its deadliest weapon. So we have now Ray Palmer and Ryan Choi. Obviously, they are the current Atoms in the DC universe, and they are, brilliant scientists and everything. They are working with this, the world's first superpower relocation or reallocation and backup system. Because, as you know from Absolute Power, not everybody got their powers back. Some people got different powers, and people that didn't have powers to begin with got empowered. So they're trying to sort it all out and get everything back where it needs to go. And that's kind of what kicks all of this off. But not everybody wants them back. Captain Atom is trying to prevent all his missing atomic abilities from returning, or from ever being found. So they have opposition. The two Atoms have opposition from Captain Atom, who was a very powerful being who, Watchmen's Dr. Manhattan was based off of, right? So this is an incredibly powerful individual trying to stop them from ever, figuring this out, so he never gets his power. So very interesting stuff going on there. Really excited about this. Love the creative team here. They've been building up to this, here and there, bits and pieces, and so I'm excited to finally see this come to action and see what's happening here. So I am going to give this one a promisingly good. It does sound exciting. It sounds fun. It sounds like it's going to have, a lot of action going on. So we'll see how it plays out, but promisingly good for me for now. And that is all the first for the first week of the year, January 1st, New Year's Day, or whenever the comics arrive in your local comic shop. I'd love to hear which of those you're excited about. If there are any I missed that are on your radar, on your pull list, or what you're excited about in the new year. But going outside of the first, I'm going to talk about a few other books that I am looking forward to next week. So we've got Shazam number 19. I've been enjoying this series. It's been fun. I've been having a blast with it. And there's not a whole lot to say here. We've still got kind of Billy and the Captain as separate individuals within the same body and the same mind. And, we know that the Captain is like an aged version of Billy. So they're still kind of figuring that out. But we also have, Freddy, who has been under the control of this other thing. They are battling. He's the commander. And so we have the Captain versus the commander. We have Mr. Mind is in the mix as well, kind of pulling the strings. So it's been interesting, this build up to this conflict between the two brothers. And so I'm here for it. Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, issue number 9 is, of course, the next one. We've had the TVA stuff, that spin off into the TVA book. Now we've been focusing on the story with the Black Tarantula, who she has been kind of flirting with, not realizing that he was the actual villain. And this villain thinks they're meant to be, and she doesn't realize the two are the same. She kind of has her suspicions or whatever. But now the Black Tarantula is taking his aim off her and onto the corruption in the system. So Gwen has to decide, what situation she's going to tackle first. So I've actually really enjoyed this series. It's not the best Spider-Gwen I've ever read, but it's far from the worst. And it's been better than what we've been getting before this, in recent memory. So I've been enjoying the ride, and I'm excited for the next issue. X Factor number 6. We have a betrayal at hand here. It says X Factor has survived their most grueling trial yet. Who can they turn to, and can they endure yet another betrayal? So, and it looks like one of their own has kind of gone rogue, probably in the wake of some really bad stuff that happened last issue. So this issue is just one of those kind of guilty pleasure books. It's like it's never at the top of my list, but it's always at the top of my pile, kind of thing. If that makes sense, I'm always excited to read this book. It's a fun book. It's a fun series. So if you have not checked out X Factor, I recommend checking this current incarnation of X Factor. Absolute Superman #3. I've really enjoyed this version of Superman. Last issue, we learned more about Lois. Lois and Kal-El got to know each other a little bit. And so now we have Memories of Krypton in this issue. We're going to feature Jor-El and Laura a little more prominently in this issue. So we're going to learn about that and about the Labor Guild and all of that stuff. And it says there's kind of a twist to it that we're not going to expect in this issue. So I'm curious to see what that is as well. Batgirl issue #3. This is Cassie and her mom coming up against this cult. It's been really strong between these two, kind of working together begrudgingly to survive. And I'm just a big Cassie fan, and I like her interactions with her mom and trying to, how they work together flawlessly, but they are completely at odds and they don't trust each other. And it's just this interesting dynamic that they play on with this. And so far, so good. So we'll see what happens in issue 3. And then finally, Batman issue 156. The Riddler's plans finally are revealed in this issue. And the Owls, the Court of Owls, the new regime at the Court of Owls, it says is not what it seems. So we're going to see what the mystery there is. This is the penultimate issue of this Dying City arc, which is Chip Zdarsky's last run on this book. So it is coming to an end, just 2 more issues to go. So I'm excited to see how it's going to wrap up. But that's it. That's all the books that I have to talk about this week. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderfully happy new year this coming week. And I wish you all prosperity, hope, love, and good comics in 2025. Thank you for joining me for over a year of this show so far, and I hope you continue to join me in the new year. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the other episodes or any of the other content on this channel. Of course, you can follow me across social media at Only Good Comics, or type in onlygoodcomics.com to take you right back to this YouTube channel where we talk about only good comics. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care, keep reading those comics, and Happy New Year. See you soon.